please subscribe and don't forget to press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload a new video.
2 days after the Reserve Bank revealed that almost all of the demonetized currency has returned to the banking system, Dinesh Trivedi, the member of the Parliamentary Committee on Finance, has appealed that the panel's demonetization report be made public. Sources say that Trivedi has written to the chairman of the panel, Moily, urging him to adopt the report as the committee's tenure ends today. Parikshit Luthra is here with the details. Parikshit, take us through the details of Trivedi's letter.
Well, after the RBI report on demonetization, this is clearly another embarrassment for the government and also embarrassment for the Congress party, because the Parliamentary Committee on Finance, which has members from all political parties, is headed by none other than former Union Minister, Congress veteran Moily. Yes, he is the head of this panel. He had been chairing all those meetings for the last 2 years, and Dinesh Trivedi is urging him to make the report public, adopt the report at least, even though members of the BJP may be objecting to this report, which is critical of the government. They may be wanting to stall it. He's saying for the sake of the nation, for the sake of the taxpayer who's funded all the committee meetings of the last 2 years, all the deliberations where you've had heads of public sector banks, government officials, RBI governor, all of them have come and deposed before the Parliamentary Committee on Finance. For the sake of the taxpayer, please put out this report in public domain so that the public knows what happened. What did key stakeholders have to say about demonetization? He is urging the chairman and telling him that today is the last day of the committee. From tomorrow, we don't know whether all these committee members will be reappointed, whether the chairman will be the same or not, and therefore the country has every right to know what has happened with demonetization in the Parliamentary Committee for the last 2 years. Back to you.
All right, Parikshit, thanks for breaking that up for us. A crucial letter written, and let's see how the response is. But here's the other big story that we are tracking from North Block. Crucial meeting of the high-level empowered committee for resolving stressed power assets is currently underway. The fate of 25 power plants hangs in the balance after Allahabad High Court refused to provide relief from bankruptcy proceedings. Anshu Sharma is here to tell us what we can expect. Anshu, the panel is meeting for the first time. What can we expect? Are resolution expected in the first meeting itself, or do we have to expect a few other meetings for some clarity there?
That's right. The high-level empowered committee on the stress assets in the power will meet today. Meeting will be headed by P.K. Sinha, the Cabinet Secretary, and others which will participate in this meeting will include officials from Ministry of Power, Coal, Finance, Railways, and some lenders which have maximum exposure in the power sector. Also remember that RBI or Reserve Bank of India will also have its representation in this meeting as per the directive of the Allahabad High Court order. Remember, about 34 assets of about 3 lakh crore rupees are part of the stress assets list, but of these 34, 9 are at some level under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, and 7 have been resolved which had issued with regards to coal linkage. Essentially, this committee will discuss issues of fuel linkage as well as road to bring in more sale of power, payment security and enhancement of payment from DISCOMs, as DISCOMs always delay payments to the power generators. So these are some of the points that the committee will deliberate upon, and we'll have to wait and watch out what solution the committee comes out with. Back to you.
Okay, Anshu, thanks for that. Now, shifting focus, the prime accused in the 13,000 crore rupee Nirav Modi case could face criminal proceedings in the United States. This after he declared bankruptcy, and a US court is now moving on settling dues with creditors. Government sources believe that US court could pave the way for PNB to get its first tranche of the settlement. Timsy Japuria is here with the details. Timsy, what's making the government confident that PNB could start getting its money back?
Well, here is some positive news coming in for PNB and government in its fight against Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi. Sources at Ministry of Corporate Affairs tell CNBC TV18 that the government is confident of the fact that PNB may soon receive first tranche of money involved in the Modi fraud as US Bankruptcy Court moves on settling creditors' claims. US Bankruptcy Examiner in his report to the court has found, and I quote, that Nirav Modi and his companies were directly involved in the transactions related to alleged fraudulent circumstances, end quote. Post this, Nirav Modi is likely to now face criminal proceedings in the US court. CNBC TV18, which is in possession of this report filed by a bankruptcy examiner appointed by the U.S. Bankruptcy Court at Southern District of New York. The U.S. bankruptcy report in its findings has also strengthened MCA's proceedings before NCLT against Nirav Modi. U.S. bankruptcy examiner in his report has also found and has further determined that it is highly likely that the CEO and CFO were involved in assisting the fraud. Meanwhile, now even Mehul Choksi has also filed for bankruptcy in U.S. Delaware Court for his company Samuel Jewelers. The bankruptcy case is now listed for 13 September, and government is confident of the fact that PNB will be proved as a creditor yet again to Samuel Jewelers. We'll keep you posted on it.
All right, Timsey, thanks for joining in with that. Now on to news from the aviation space, and this was the CNBC TV18 exclusive. Earlier, we told you how debt-laden Jet Airways was looking at ways to raise capital and execute its turnaround strategy. We now learn from sources that investors have expressed interest to buy stake in airline. That's not all. Investors have also shown interest in Jet Privilege, the airline's loyalty program. Again, this is something that CNBC TV18 had reported, that Jet Airways was looking at selling stake in Jet Privilege, and that's about 49% of the stake. Now, what we understand is that some investors rather, have expressed interest in investing in both. So, for instance, we learned that a consortium of private equity players, which includes the likes of Blackstone, which is led by Blackstone rather, has expressed interest in buying part equity into the company as well as investing in Jet Privilege. There have been a couple of other interested parties, TPG Capital, JIC and Indigo Partners, who are only interested in investing in Jet Privilege. Now, that's as far as the PE investors are concerned. The foreign airlines that have been in talks, according to our sources, and that have expressed interest include Air France, KLM and Delta. Now, we understand from our sources that Air France, KLM and Delta have expressed interest categorically to look at investing in both Jet Airways as well as Jet Privilege, and going forward, Jet now plans to explore options of clubbing the sale. We learned from sources that they are going to consider the option of over a period of time taking this discussion further and then perhaps beginning the bidding process.